first movie theater solo, 2010's The Dark Knight Rises versus 2020's F1 the movie. So today is Thursday, 17 July 2025, and here I, Tanis Coralee of Seattle, reflect on my first movie theater solo in the 2010s decade, 2012 film The Dark Knight Rises, versus my first movie theater solo in the 2020s decade, 2025 film F1 the movie. So the build up to each of these, and solo here means I go to the movie theater and see the movie by myself. And it's that. So 2012 film The Dark Knight Rises, I had just moved to Honolulu, Hawaii for school. I was attending the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And this is one where I was like, I really want to see this one in theaters. And so I had seen it. I was in tune with Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, and this is The Dark Knight, and this The Dark Knight Rises. And I had moved back from Africa, and then I had moved to Hawaii, and so I really wanted to see it. And it felt like the lead up to it felt like everything went wrong. Like I'm a very timely person, and not only was it like later, like towards its release in theaters, but it was like I was late taking off because I walked to the theater, and then I got there like a few minutes early. But I just remember being like, I was like late, and then I was late, and then I got there really close to like the start, and I was like, what if they don't have a ticket? Like, no, they're not letting people in. But I did, and there were a few other people. It was a daytime showing, and I remember. So there was two kind of overarching big parts. I remember there being a few enough people that it was the showing where the dream commenced. Perhaps the way of speaking of, it'd be cool if I had been the only one in the theater. I hadn't really thought that before, like at a like tangible, I got this close, and I'm alone, so I can, you know, like to do a solo theater, you know. I was like, well, it'd be good to have at least one, you know, seeing a movie by myself, per my own tastes. So it was one that had few enough other people going that I was like, that'd be something that'd be cool, that I'm okay with, kind of thing. I'm not going to pursue it because I don't know how to pursue that. But like, that'd be cool if that happened. And then my favorite moment in all of cinema, all of movies, comes from this movie. And I had lived so the first half of 2012, I ran faster than 5 minutes in the 1 mile run, the 1 mile road run for the first time when I was living in South Africa. And I had like the adrenaline from that, I still feel to this day. It doesn't ever go away. I've done a very good job of preserving and protecting it. And I remember I was like kind of looking for things to like contextualize just how much adrenaline there was. And this was a movie, I was like watching the movie, and I saw it, and I was like, that's what that was. And there's the overarching concept of it's a Ken Miles perfect lap, who was a car racer. But like the moment, like to communicate, if I could communicate in one moment what that run felt like, it was the scene in The Dark Knight Rises where Bane breaks Batman's back. So it's a fight scene, and I just remember being like, like Bane brings Batman down, and I'm just like, that was my 1 mile run. So thank you, Tom Hardy, for bringing that moment into existence. And that, in that sense, you will always be my favorite for that, the meaning of that moment. And then, so that's the 2010s decade, my first solo. And then my first movie theater solo in the 2020s decade was 2025 film F1 the movie. And so I've seen that one 4 times solo in the theaters now. It's a good one. It's a rewatching one. So was The Dark Knight Rises, but I only saw it once in theaters. And I think I caught them both on their, like, at the theater that I went to. They both, at least one of my viewings was like the closing week/weekend. So I did make it earlier for F1 the movie too. Not 2 like F1 the movie, because F2 there's Formula 2 race car driving, so there's The point being, I did actually, on the 4th showing I went to, I did get that solo auditorium all to myself. So I did, it's a fast forward, first to first, and perfectly sequential. So F1, the movie was about Formula One race car driving. I think the takeaways there were more like, that's my Brad Pitt, and that's my Lewis Hamilton, and that's my Charles Leclerc, and that's my Lando Norris, and damn, that man is a good-looking man. Like, about all of them. Okay, I'd say if there was like one movie, it's kind of like, so it's, I would say, and there are other men in the movie who would look good as well. It's not limited to them. It's just like, I was like, it was ear porn. That was like, there's so much, the sound of car racing and the sound of cars in the movie, I would call ear porn. So if there was like a, I didn't know, kind of like with the Bane breaking Batman's back moment, I would say probably like the cinematic takeaway there is going to be the audio. Like, I loved the audio so much, the car racing, and as someone whose dominant sense is hearing, not actually sight, that it really matters to me. So it might not matter to a lot of people, but it matters to me. And I thought it did a really great job of communicating like different components of car racing and car design, vehicle racing and design. So I'd say there's, as someone with a Bachelor of Science degree in Geology and Geophysics, a minor in Mathematics, who has owned a car for over 5.00 years of age and driven compact cars over 100 miles an hour, both manual and stick shift, both in North America and Europe, just on regular roads, and has technical background, experimental and theoretical and field work, and I've made stuff and yada yada yada. I think if there was a lingering, I wanted more science from The Dark Knight Rises. F1 the movie provided that for cars, and that is something that I can at least semi understand. Now, I didn't become a car owner until 2015. Yeah, I walked to The Dark Knight Rises 2012. I drove to 2025 film F1 the movie. So there's a big differences, not having a car and having a car, being a car owner. So there we go. Oh, what's the verses here? It's a tie. Okay, those, and don't screw with either of those movies in relation to me, 'cause those highs don't go away. Yeah, so those are all my first movie theater solos, 2010's The Dark Knight Rises versus the 2020's F1 the movie.